Hey there, I'm Terry Thomas, and welcome to Terry's Next Chapter. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my November TBR. I have a few books on here. I want to see how many of these I actually get to read. I do have some notes about each book, so I make sure that I touch on the points of why I want to read them. So just want to give you full disclosure that they're here. Um, so first, I want to start off. I want to explore some cozy mystery in November. I've never really read a whole lot of that. I've said in other videos, my go-to genre has been very much romance. That's what got me back into fiction. I've also liked some thrillers. I'm a big Dan Brown fan, but um, part of this journey is definitely exploring other genres. So this month, I want to explore, like I said, some cozy mystery. And I have a couple that I know for sure that I want to read, and maybe more, but at least these two. So the first one I want to read this month is Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I hear that there's a movie. I think it's on Netflix, but I'm not 100% sure. But I definitely want to read the book first, and then I'll probably go check that out. It's about a group of friends in a retirement village that solve murders. Cool. I love a great ensemble. That's going to be awesome. I love humor. I hear it's got some great British humor, so I love that. That sounds cool. I love British stuff. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that one. So, Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Let's see what it's about, and then I'll check out the movie too and compare. All right, so the second cozy mystery book that I want to read this month is called On What Grounds by Cleo Coyle. And, I hadn't really heard a lot about this series, or I hadn't really at all. But I I don't even know how I stumbled on it, but I found out that there is a cozy mystery series that takes place, yes, in a fictional coffee house, but it's supposed to be set in Greenwich Village in the city in New York. I absolutely love New York City. I know I've probably said it on other videos, but I live in upstate New York, so I've spent my whole life going to New York. I absolutely love going down any time of year, but especially this time of year. So if there is a cozy coffee house mystery series set in New York, I am totally in. So I definitely want to give that one a try. I hear there's like 20 books in the series. So if I enjoy it, then I got, some books to look forward to. So I'll keep you posted on that. So those are the two cozy mysteries I'm thinking about for this month. And like I said, maybe some more, but that's definitely where I want to start. So to move on from that, another book that I want to read in November is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Now, I know that's a complete left turn from cozy mystery, but I am the type of person who likes to read different genres. I don't stick with the one. I do like romance. In fact, I'm not even sure if I have any romance on this list, so I may have to find some more of those for this for November. But Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I started this a few years ago, and I was really enjoying it. It's very fun. I read at least the first part of, with his childhood in South Africa. It was very cool, but I just love Trevor Noah as a comedian, but also as a commentator, just his perspective. So, yeah, the book was hysterical and very interesting, about a topic you don't hear that much a lot about, and it's his experience, so that's cool. So it's a memoir, and yeah, it's called Born a Crime, Trevor Noah, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'm really looking forward to finishing it. I'll probably just start it over, obviously, because it's been a few years, but yeah, looking forward to that one. Okay, so the next book on my TBR for November is Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. I've read a few Lee Bardugos recently, but Six of Crows is kind of the one I've been hearing about. It's another ensemble, which I love. It's a found family heist story. Like, who wouldn't love something like that? So I'm going to give it a shot. I recently read Ninth House. I didn't love that as much. It was kind of dark for me, but knowing that I wanted to read Six of Crows at some point, this past summer, I read the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which happens in this universe before, or I think it's called the Grishaverse, before Six of Crows. So I read that because I knew that I wanted to read this. And I did like that. That was like adventure story, good characters, which I love. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a try and we'll see. So, and I did like I said, I enjoyed Shadow and Bone a little better than Ninth House. Ninth House was just kind of dark for me. It's not really my preference. Nothing wrong with it. She's a great writer. I just don't tend to like to go as dark as that one. I felt that one was. Okay. So that was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Okay, so the next book that I want to read is in kind of like a fantasy genre. It's an author that I have not yet read that I've been super curious about. So the next book I'm interested in reading in November is Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. It sounds very clever, very interesting. It's an adventure story that takes place in multiple Londons, and I haven't heard that much about it, but just that it's the different Londons are represented by different colors and different things or capabilities, I think, happen in the different Londons. And it's about a character who can go between them and other characters can't necessarily. So I'm super curious. I love a good fantasy story. So let's see. I'm a huge like old school Lord of the Rings fan, so I do like to explore various fantasy stories and kind of see where, where it takes me next. So I'm very intrigued. And yeah, so we'll find out about that one. Now, the next book I want to talk about is another complete genre switch up. I think it would be considered maybe lit fic or general fiction. It's definitely a new to me author. And I just was kind of doing exploring, I think in Goodreads. This was in one of the Goodreads lists. And I like to explore those because that's how I get to know sometimes books that I would not hear of in other places, that at least not in the spaces that I frequent. So this book is called Middle Spoon by Alejandro Varela, and it just sounds really kind of cute. It's like, well, I don't know if it's cute, but it's like it's different, it's offbeat, and it's supposed to be very funny. And it's interesting because it's a story about polyamory and its impact on a certain character and his family. And I actually just love learning about, reading about different lifestyles, and so super curious about this one. So yeah, I'm going to check it out. It's called Middle Spoon by Alejandro Varela. I think is how you say it, Varela. And yeah, yeah, I love it. Like I said, new to me author and just different for what I normally read. So I'm excited about that. I have two more possibilities that I'm thinking about for this month if I can get to them. One is a little bit chunky, admittedly, that I've been putting off forever, but still kind of curious about and wanting to read. But life happens, other things take precedence. So I am hoping to get to maybe both of these or at least one of these. The first one is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. And what's interesting is I was just kind of peeking around looking at it on Goodreads, and I actually put this on my want to read back in November of 2015. So 10 years ago, literally 10 years ago, I put it on as a book I want to read. So what that means is I've been curious about this for a while. What it is it's a fairy tale retelling. I'm probably telling people who already know and read it. It's been around for a minute. I just never really got into that whole fairy tale retelling era. I guess that was when I was in my personal development nonfiction era at that time. So I was poking around, I was curious about it, but I never really took the time to read a lot of fiction at that time. So this one is a Cinderella retelling, and who knows, maybe this is going to open up a whole new series for me. In fact, as I was putting this together, I realized that a lot of these books are book ones in a series. And so who knows? I might be opening myself up to years of reading for all these series I'm trying to start this month. So, and that's one of them, Cinder. So I will let you know how it goes. So, in the last book I think I'm just going to talk about in this video is Dune by Frank Herbert. Now, this is something, it's another science fiction book, or I don't think I've talked about any science fiction on this. It's a science fiction book. And TBH, when I was younger, a movie came out. Yes, I'm that old, as you probably know. Maybe you don't, but and I wasn't really interested. I wasn't super into science fiction. You know, I watched Star Wars and stuff like that. But yeah, it didn't grab my attention. However, in recent years, a little actor by the name of Timothy Chalamet made the Dune movies, and I really enjoyed them because I love him. He's one of my favorite actors now. I just find him so amazing. He is the best Laurie in Little Women ever. It took me a minute to warm up to this Little Women because historically that's one of my all-time favorite stories. I'm sure I will do a video about that at some point because that story just means a lot to me, and I've watched every movie adaptation over the years repeatedly. And this one was a little different in how I can't, her name is escaping me, on how Greta Gerwig created it. And I was, the first time I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, this is off-putting" because it was done differently. But the more I saw this version, and I know I'm not even supposed to be talking about Little Women right now, I'm supposed to be talking about Dune, but was just awesome. And in fact, two of my favorites are in it. Um, Florence Pugh is the best Amy ever. She played Amy better than I even think Louisa May Alcott wrote her. That's how much I think yeah, how great I thought she did. And also Timothy Chalamet's Laurie. I've never seen a Laurie in any of the other movie adaptations capture the spirit that he did. Anyway, sorry, that's a whole little sidebar. But talk about Dune now. Back to Dune. He just made me curious about this book because I did enjoy the movies. So I am going to read Dune, hopefully in December. I will let you know how it goes. I've heard different things. This is definitely the chunkiest book of this whole TBR, so we will see. And yeah, I will let you know how it goes. But anyway, that is it for now for this video. I'm gonna see, like I said, what I get to, what I don't. Holidays, so sometimes I have more time to read, sometimes I don't, but we'll see. I like to listen to lots of audiobooks while I, putter around and crochet. So that's my jam. Anyways, so thanks for spending this time with me, and I will see you on the next vid. Oh, hey, Sir Napsalot has something he wants to tell you.